part 2 of the Simon puzzle. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. First thing that I noticed when I jumped in here before recording, we forgot to put a trigger on the player trigger. So select player trigger, click add, and let's type in collision and grab a box collision. I'm just going to scale that out a little bit. And we'll just call this trigger right now. Okay. You guys can have this however you want. One thing I was thinking about doing is maybe having it just in the front so that the player would have to stand in front and look back. But honestly, just for this, we'll just have it anywhere. You guys set it up however you like. Compile, save. Let's jump right into the event graph. So one of the first things we need to do is select our trigger, right click on it, and on begin overlap. So on component begin overlap is what we want to select. We need to find out who is overlapping, what is overlapping with it. So we're going to cast to the first person character. And I can't spell. All right, we'll take the object and say other actor, and well, okay, so with it set up like this, we would trigger all the other functions and events and everything right as we walk over the little trigger here. I don't really want that. I just kind of want this to be opening the gate, right? The way I did that, guys, was I held G and I left click, or you can just right click and search gate. Either way, we're gonna plug in the open with this, and we are going to, and I've already set this up myself, but I'll show you guys how I did it. But we're going to make a use event, and I'll show you guys how to make this really, really quick. What you do, and I'm going to delete that, is go to edit, project settings. We're going to look on the left hand side here for input, and then you guys would click action mappings. Actually, let's just delete this. Click the plus on the action mapping, name it something, and I'm just going to call this use, and then find the key that you want. So I'll go to keyboard and find our letter E. Go. Close out of that. And then we can right click in here and just type the word use and make sure it says action events, use, and we'll do that on press. Okay. Just close it on release. We don't really need that. Just leave it like that for right now. And then we're going to do some sort of function. But let's go ahead and finish this off really quick. So trigger, select it over here. Add event on end overlap. Same thing. We want the player. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to do something. Real quick, right click and get the player controller. Okay. If we're doing this for multiplayer, it'd be a little bit different. We have to find out whose controller it is and everything, but for single player, we can just get the index 0, which should be us. And then up here, move this out of the way a little bit. We're going to say right click and then say enable input. What we can do is we can hold control and open and move that down to our enable input and then plug it back in on the other side. Plug in our player controller into the player controller slot of enable input, and then down here we're going to say disable input. Plug that in, plug the player controller into the player controller, and then plug this part in to close. So basically whenever we walk out of here, we want this closed. Let me explain a gate really fast. Basically what a gate is, what this is saying, and we're going to remove this for right now. when we overlap, we're going to check if it's the first person character. If it is, we're going to enable their input. And then we're going to open the gate. So you can't really do what's on the other side of the gate if the gate just opens. You have to walk through the gate as well. And that's what we're using our use input for. So when we enter the gate, walk through it, then, okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. When we enter it, as long as the gate is open, we can do what's on this side. And so that whenever we leave away from the button, whenever we walk away from this and we're no longer overlapping the trigger, we want to close that gate behind us so that we can't just keep using it over and over again wherever we are in the world. All right. Next, I think we will create a custom event. I usually use functions, but since whenever you're brainstorming, I like to just use custom events, and we can always collapse them into functions later on. But for right now, I do want to select all this, press C to make a comment, and just say overlap events. So that we know this is where the player, actually, trigger, we'll call it player trigger. Sorry, player trigger overlap events. That way we know. I need to put spaces in there. Sorry. All right, there we go. Player trigger overlap events. So we can easily get back to this later on, because we are going to be adding a lot more to it. But I do want to make a custom event, and for this, I think this will be where we set up like the difficulty and everything. So just type custom event, and we'll say set up difficulty, if I can spell. And we're going to need a couple of things for this. Let's get a variable of, we'll just call it difficulty. And we're going to set this to an integer. Let's make this instance editable and expose on spawn. Something that we can mess with whenever we place it into the level. Something we can just change on the fly very easily. I think we'll need another one for, we'll need an array. And we'll call this playlist. I think it'll be good for that. Over here on the right, make sure that it's of type integer. And then just to the right of that, you'll see like there's a little pill icon for it being a single. But we want to switch it from a single to an array. And so we're going to get the array. Oh, no, sorry, don't get it. We're going, do get it. Don't set it. I did it backwards. So yeah, sorry. Pull it out and select get, and then pull off of the array, and let's type clear. We want to make sure that whenever we are setting up everything, that the array is clear. I don't know if I actually need to do this, but we're gonna just have it right now because my brain just thinks that we need it. And then, okay, let's do a switch on int. Just sorry, I'm doing this on the fly, guys. So this is kind of me just brainstorming it at the same time that I'm teaching you guys how to build it. We're gonna remove this has default pin. We don't need it, and we're going to plug in our difficulty here. And you know what, let's go ahead and compile really fast because I do want to set a default value. Or 1. What is up? What are you not liking? First person character does not inherit from primitive component. Pass to first person character would always fail. Oh. Plug that from other actor to the object. I was like, wait, what is it talking about? I know it's not a component. Anyway, sorry about that. Plugged it into the wrong thing. Alright. Put this on top because this is going to go downwards. But yeah, we'll set the difficulty. I'm going to set its default value to 1. because we want it to be at least level 1, right? We're going to add pins for, let's say, 3 levels. And that'll do fine. So 0, 1, and 2. But we're going to change this guy to where its start index is 1, not 13, 1. So now it says 1, 2, 3. And so if it's level 1, let's make another integer and call this notes to remember. Maybe we'll come up with these kind of fast because these are the same ones I use in my project. We're going to make sure this is a type integer, but we're going to set this back to being a single. So if it is level 1, we will say you have to remember 3 notes. Let's do 5 notes for level 2, and let's do like 8 notes for level 3. Level 3 will be like our hard mode. You know what? This isn't something I didn't have on the other one, but I always thought about making. Let's do another integer called, or not, sorry, not an integer, but another variable called speed, and we're going to make that of a type float. All right. So we're going to set the speed as well. Copy, paste. And so if it's level 1, we'll say every 1.5 seconds. Level 2, we'll say 1 second, and level 3, we'll say 0.5 seconds. I think level 3 is going to be pretty hard. Yeah, so that should be good for our setup. So we'll come back up here and we'll say set up difficulty. Okay, next we would actually need to make the I like to comment this out. Or comment this, sorry. Set up difficulty. I just keep everything as clean as possible, so if I need to find out where to go back to really quick, I can just easily go, oh, it's right. Oh, it's there. You know what I mean? All right. Next, yeah, we need to actually make the playlist. So what notes are going to go in there? So let's do another custom event and call this one create playlist. All right, and then all right, we're gonna need to get the difficulty, right? And no, we don't need to get the difficulty. We need to get the notes to remember. That's what we need to get. And we'll say we'll do a while loop. So type in right click and do while. Now we need to set up a condition for this. So while notes to remember is, or no. Sorry, move that down. While the length of playlist, that's how we can do this. While the length of the playlist is less than notes to remember. We'll keep doing everything over here. And what we need to be doing over there is actually creating the playlist. So we're going to take this guy and say add. We're also going to do another switch on int. Maybe not this one. Switch. So right click, type switch on int. Remove the default key. And then now we're going to get the difficulty. Wait, no. Delete. What am I thinking here? We need to get, I do know that we need to get a random integer within a range, right? And then we need to find out how many notes it is that we're going to remember and select that into the max. And output that. So, okay, we can just take the playlist and we can say add this into the playlist. Yeah, okay, that should work, definitely. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in, create, and as long as the playlist has less things inside of it than we are supposed to remember. So basically each time this runs, we're gonna add a new note to the playlist. And as long as those notes are less than the amount that we're supposed to remember, then we should be good. It'll create another note. So let's say that this is 3 notes for level 1. The first time it runs, we'll have 0 notes in here, so it'll add a new note, and it'll be a random one between that. And that does not need to be notes to remember. Delete that. Between 0 and 3, because remember we only have 4 items here. So our blue, our red, our yellow, and our green. And basically what we're doing is making each one of these numbers correspond to a color. So we can think of it as, let me just do do a comment here. And so we can say that like blue is equal to 0, red is equal to 1, green equal to 2, and yellow equal to 3, right? This way, we have kind of a little formula here. Add notes to playlist. So when this is done, we're going to create playlist. And once this is finished, let me bring this out just a little bit. Okay, we're going to need to create a custom event again. And this one we're going to say play playlist. This will be us playing the notes. And so over here, out of the complete, play playlist. Basically, once we filled up the playlist with the notes that we want to do, we actually want to play it. So I think we're going to need a new variable here. We're going to say is playing, and this will be of type Boolean. And we need to check is playing right off the bat. If it is, oh wait, sorry, is not playing. So pull off of this, grab this off of the is playing, grab a not Boolean. Yeah, let me do that again. Sorry, I know I did that kind of fast. Pull off not Boolean and plug this guy in here. Clean this up. So as long as we're not already playing, we will play. If we're already playing, then we won't. We'll just do nothing. We could even do a print string, say already playing. All right. Now, oh, one thing I did change, guys. I just thought about this. I switched all of the colors on the actual note thingies to their regular versions, the just green underscore mi or just the underscore mi, instead of using the emissives, so that they're already in that off state. So make sure you go back through and do that for each of your colors. Sorry about that, I forgot. I kind of messed up on the tutorial earlier, had to redo it again. So and that was something I did during that time, and I forgot until just now that that's something I did. I tried to delete everything and come back through so that you guys could walk with me step by step. My bad on that, guys, but go ahead and make sure to fix that. Anyways, so here we are going to, we're going to need another variable, and we're going to say notes played. This will be another integer. getting lots and lots of variables here. But this is kind of how you do it when you're brainstorming. You kind of just start making all this stuff, and then you're going to come back through later on and you're going to clean it up. And we'll do that as well. We will have this quick and dirty version, and then we'll have one more extra video after that. That'll be the complete, just cleaning it up, moving things into functions, removing garbage that we don't need, stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, definitely stick around for it. Anyways, we are going to find out if the notes played is less than the notes to remember, then we'll keep going. Actually, I feel like I need to get the length of notes and of the playlist instead, but we're going to go this route because I don't see why this wouldn't work. The notes to remember should actually be the same as the length of the playlist. I mean, I guess we could write it the other way just to make sure that we're only playing the amount of notes that we need, but I don't see any problem in doing it this way. All right. So as long as the notes played is less than notes to remember, we will keep going. And so I need to get the playlist now. And we're going to pull out of this and type get, and we're going to get a copy. And we're going to set the index down here to being the number of notes played. So that way, the first time it comes in, notes played should equal 0, and we're going to set, so this will be 0. So we will get the whatever item is at the position 0 in this playlist. So that should be the first note, right? For those of you who don't know, arrays always start at 0, not 1. So just always keep that in mind whenever dealing with your arrays. If you're looking for the first index of it, it will always be 0. All right, so we get that index, and we're going to probably do a switch on int again. Remove the has default pen. We're going to plug this into the selection. Plug this into true. I'm going to move this above. And then we're going to say 0, 1, 2, 3. Because these should be the only numbers that can be housed in this playlist here. If it's 0, remember, like we said, it'll be the blue. But for now, I think all we're going to do, because we're running pretty long on this video, we're going to print a string. You know what? No, we're going to get this done. We can get this done. I'll go fast. But you know what? Just to test, we are going to go ahead and just do the print string for right now. And we're going to plug all of these in here really, really fast. And then grab the, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, grab this guy. Plug it straight in, move this up to make it pretty. So basically we're going to find out what the note is that's being played, and we're going to have that display on our screen really fast. It should give us kind of a list of the notes, basically. So press E, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. For some reason, it's only doing one note. So, okay, notes played less than, oh, because we're only going through this once. So basically, we then need to grab notes played, paste it over here, do a plus. We're going to add 1 to notes played, and then we're going to set notes played. So basically, notes played will equal itself plus 1. So what it was before plus 1. So if it was 0 before, and if we've already played the first note, then it'll equal 1, and then it'll equal 2, so on and so forth. And then we're going to do one more check again. as long as we'll just actually we can just grab this again. The notes played is less than notes to remember. As long as that is, you know what? Delete. Grab these guys. Copy. Come back over here. Paste. As long as this is still true, we are going to again play. How do I say that? Play playlist. Play the playlist. There we go. If it's false, at that point, that's when we're going to find out what the player, or allow the player to do some input. Ooh, we need to set is playing right here to true. And then over here, before we do is playing again, we're going to set is playing. Oh, wait, no, we're not going to do it there. I don't like this. So instead of doing is playing, we're going to say is listening. And the reason I want to do that is listening. And we're going to say, as long as it's not listening, and we're not going to set true here either. So as long as we're not listening, we can play the playlist. And then whenever it's time for the player's turn, we're going to say set is listening to true. That way it's not going to try to run this again if the player clicks play. Well, instead of saying already playing, we'll say is listening for player. We'll have to come up with another check for when this is actually playing. But I think as long as we'll figure that out later. Right now, this will be fine. We might do it up here and do an is playing on the E press. And basically, if it's, we'll just do a branch off of this, and actually, or a branch off of the enabled input. Either way, if the thing's already playing, then they won't be able to press E to do anything. We'll probably do it off the E. I think that'd be a better bet. Actually, yeah, let's duplicate. So select is listening, Control W, and let's call this is playing. Sorry, I do want you guys to see how I make mistakes here. You know what I mean? So pull off is playing, pull out here, and let's do the get. And then we're going to hold B for a branch. Grab ourselves a branch. As long as is playing is not true, we can press E on this, and it'll do all the other craziness, right? Because yeah, that's good, because I think we cleared our playlist every time we press E. So we need to do like this. So if he's not playing, you know what we might do? We need to do an get. We'll say and boolean not listening. Need some room here. So we're gonna drag this up, bring these guys up. It's back. And then plug this end up there. Alright, so as long as we're not playing or listening. Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. Don't use and, let's use or. Or boolean. As long as we're not playing or listening, then we will be able to do all this. But if we are, then we can't, so we can't mess up all this. All right, let's test this. And Ooh, this is getting long. All right. Play. So we got 0, 0, 1. So that would have been blue, blue, red is what it would have done. So we got that plate to show up. Let's actually make it show up. So what we're going to do really, really fast, guys. We're going to grab the blue light. We're going to grab the red light, the green light, the yellow light, and I feel like I missed something. Blue, red. Oh yeah, it's only 4. Okay. All right. So if all that pans out, we're going to delete this, grab this, move it on up, or actually move it out of the way over there. If it's blue, we're going to get the material of it. Oh, sorry, not get, set the material. And we are going to set this to blue underscore E underscore MI. We're going to wait for a second. Well, for longer than a second. We're going to delay. And then we're going to delay for the speed time, for how fast we're wanting to do this. That I'm going to have to play with a little bit with the speed thing, but we'll use that for right now. We're then going to do the same thing again. We're going to set the material, but this time we're going to set it back to its regular material after this delay. When that is done, we're going to do all of this stuff that we did over here. Plug that into there. All right, let's do the same thing. So we're just going to grab all this without grabbing the blue light itself. Copy, paste. Bring it up underneath this red one. Plug that into there. Copy, paste the red over here as well. Plug it into the target. Plug the end into the set. And then plug this into 1. Maybe move this up a little bit and get it kind of pretty. Okay, and then smooth out to the side. Paste, same thing again. 2 to the set material. Bring that down a tiny bit. Grab our green, copy it, paste it, put it over here as well. Plug both of these into their respective targets. Plug this into the set, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll go back and fix this in a second. Copy, paste. Grab this, plug it in. Grab our yellow, copy, paste. Let me know if that gets annoying me saying what I'm doing every single time. Also plug this into the set. Now we need to go back through. All of these are set to doing just blue right now. Setting their materials to blue. So what we need to do is, if the red light is on, we will set it to its red E. And if it's off, we'll set red to just the MI, the regular one. Same thing with green, E, and green, MI. Yellow, E, yellow, MI. Okay, that should work. And now what we could do is we could have a delay here for the speed as well, which would kind of make it double the length. Kind of. I think that this would actually be better. Doing it like this. Okay, and then we press E, so blue, off, yellow, green. There we go. We now have it playing its side of things. And I do want to do a print string really, really quick. One more time. I'll play this print string. I will say player's turn. Now that is where we're going to start off on the next video, is finding out how to do the player's turn. But let's test this really quick, make sure that everything is going good before I stop. So red, green, yellow, and then we should have player's turn. There we go. We got the AI's turn done today, and now we're going to do the player's turn in the next video. Guys, I really want to thank everybody for checking these out. This has been really, really fun making this so far. I've already got my next video idea set up. I'm going to teach you guys how to make modular blueprints, which I think it'll be a really, really short video. It won't really be a series like this one, but that'll get done right after I get done with all these. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, any creative or constructive criticism, anything like that, please let me know in the comments below. This has been really, really fun making this. I think after we get done with this series, my cadence will probably come down to maybe 2 to 3 videos a week instead of doing a video a day like I have been. I don't know. We'll see. I might keep trying to do a video a day. It just really depends on how my schedule is going and things like that. But yeah, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.